And welcome to the Sportscast, March 5th, 2019. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and iTunes. And if you're on iTunes, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. Visit us at thesportscast.net. The NFL Combine 2019 just happened this past weekend. We saw a lot of fast players and know the exact measurements and weights of certain players. To join us to talk to us about the NFL Combine is Mr. Ty Turner. Welcome.
What's up, bro?
Ty Turner, we had a great NFL Combine. You watched it a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about it, your recap on it?
Well, I mean, that's a broad question.
I mean,
a lot of guys,
little brief.
A lot of guys got measured. A lot of guys got measured. A lot of guys ran 40-yard dashes. A lot of guys did bench press, and a lot of guys did drills. Maybe to narrow it down, do you want to get a little? Ask me.
We'll go detail, but I just want to have like a little brief.
Yeah.
What you thought of it? Was it overall a great weekend?
I mean, anytime that student athletes get the opportunity to perform in front of NFL scouts for the opportunity to play in the NFL, it's kind of like an honor for those athletes. So from that perspective, it was. In comparison to other combines, every year's different. Some years it's like the big main attraction is all the quarterbacks. I mean, it tends to be it tends to be if there's a ton of quarterbacks, they're kind of the main attraction, whatever they do and their measurements and their interviews and their timing and their drills that they do. That's the main. But this year it's not like a big quarterback draft. So you kind of got like different guys that are kind of like the main attraction. You had defensive linemen, you have wide receivers, you have tight ends, you have, a variety of different positions, which just kind of makes it interesting because it kind of opens the door more so than a year that you have like 5 potential top 10 quarterbacks. Like last year, it's pretty much they garnered all the attention, all the media hoopla was around them. So this year was good from the sense if you're just like other positions other than quarterback. If you're just a football fan in its
authenticity.
If you're there you go. Can't speak early in the morning. Anyways,
it's cold in Minnesota.
If you're an authentic football fan, there you go, Tyler.
Yeah.
There was just like a lot of great stats, great play, great drill work, great testing numbers for a variety of positions. So that's kind of an overview. And then I guess just go into specifics, ask me about certain positions, and I can try to break down as much as I plausibly can from that.
The star of the show, I thought, was DK Metcalf, who is 6'3", 228 pounds, and ran the 40 in 4.33 seconds. Were you surprised?
No, I was not surprised, but I'm actually going to go a little different route than most people. I've looked more into it. I think if you look at, just being a freak, like 6'3", 228 pounds, 1.6% body fat, 4.33 40-inch vertical weight, man, star, amazing numbers. Wide receiver, nonetheless, but just amazing numbers. But would he be who I pick as the star? No, he wouldn't. A couple things I didn't like about DK Metcalf was he ran a 4.5 20-yard shuttle, which is also known as the pro agility drill. 4.5 is really bad. 4.5 is not really good for a defensive lineman. T.J. Hawkinson, who is a tight end, ran a 4.18 20-yard shuttle. So I think that's cause concern. Reason why it's cause concern is if he gets jammed. Now, he's a huge guy, so it's going to be kind of hard to jam him. But if you have to redirect him and he has to, cut off routes and he has to do the quick slant and he has to do a quick out, some of that he might not be that good at it because that pro agility is not very good. I forgot what his 3-cone was, but it was a little underwhelming too. I think it was 7.23 or something, and there was guys that were tight ends, linebackers that did better than that. So, I think if you look at the surface numbers, the huge size, the low body fat, the ripped physique, and the flying 40 and vertical, he looked like unquestioned star of the of the combine. But if you look at some of the other things, and he also is very injury prone. He's been injured. He missed 1 year. He had red shirt because of an injury. His last season was cut short because of an injury. So between injuries and maybe a little bit below, not a little bit, but definitely below average agility, I don't know. I'm just saying that's bust potential. When you bring in injuries and lack of overall agility at the wide receiver position, that he might get drafted higher than he actually performs. That's just my synopsis of DK Metcalf.
Where do you think he'll get drafted?
Well, I think he's going to get drafted high. I think he's top 10. I'm hearing a lot of rumbling. But do I think he's going to be the best wide receiver from this class? No, I don't. I actually don't. I love his teammate, A.J. Brown. He had much better shuttle time. He ran a sub-4.5 42. He's also he's a versatile guy who can play in the slot and he can play outside. He's 225 pounds, which is a very, very stout wide receiver. I really like A.J. Brown. I really like Hakeem Butler. He's big, he's huge, 6'5", 227. He ran a sub-4.5 40. A little inconsistency sometimes catching the ball, but he was healthy throughout his college career. I really like Paris Campbell. He's an explosive slot guy, runs a 4.31, had crazy testing numbers. He did have some inconsistency with his route running, which I think will drop him out of the first round because of that. But I kind of like him as that kind of utility type guy. I also really like, N'Keal Harry. He looked a little shaky in drills. I don't know if he just wasn't focused. He ran a better 40 than some thought he would at 4.53. He's also a big guy, about a couple 100 pounds. He had 27 reps on the bench press, which showed his strength, and he is strong. I mean, I saw him play a lot in the Pac-12, and he's a tremendous, he's great. He's a great player. I can see him. I didn't think he quite performed up to what I wanted him to. And if I'm just going to go out on a limb, I really like A.J. Brown. He's a guy that I think should go in the first round. I think he was a consistent player his whole time at Ole Miss. Doesn't have injury concerns. He's not a burner, but he's fast enough. He's not the biggest, but he's big enough. And, he didn't really have any red flags with his shuttle times and cone times. I loved how he looked in the drills. Effortless pass catcher. That's my favorite wide receiver from this class.
Another highlight was on Sunday. Defensive linemen and linebackers when they took the field was Quinnen Williams, who potentially could be the top pick in the draft, ran a 4.83 at 303 pounds. Did you think that was ridiculous?
Impressive. Yeah, he ran a great time. Obviously he has great film. I guess he interviewed very well. So overall, he's going to be, a pretty solid top 5 pick. From the D line, I liked. Montez Sweat obviously ran a ridiculous 40 time. His production, he's a great pass rusher. Now outside of pass rushing, sometimes he's a little bit. A little inconsistent. I can't remember the guy's first name. I know his last name. I know where he played. Burns from Florida State. I forgot his first name. Is it Brian Burns? Brian Burns might be right. I love him. I think he ran a 4.5 40. I think he had 35 plus vert. He had great testing numbers, but his film is amazing. He's a guy that can get after the quarterback. He also he's a pretty versatile guy. Personally, he's my favorite edge player from this class. I like him better than Saleen Farrell. I like him better than Montez Sweat. He would be my personal first pick. I didn't like Florida's Polite. I once again forget his first name. He did not test that well. He didn't look very good in general. He didn't look great during drills. He had great college production, so that has to be taken into consideration. But numbers-wise, he was, I don't know. I would take a Burns over Polite. Interior, it's definitely Quentin Williams. There's probably some other people that, you got Dexter Lawrence. You have Christian Wilkinson. I didn't think their numbers were great. Ed Oliver didn't run the 40. He jumped great, 35 plus. He did a 10 plus broad, which is great. He weighed in at 287 pounds. I think he did 32 on the bench press, which is terrific. If he can run a good 40 at his pro day, I think Ed Oliver's a top 10 guy. I think that guy, he's super athletic while being, 280 plus pounds. And then, Rashawn Gary. You can't forget Rashawn Gary. Anytime a guy at 278 pounds runs a sub 4.640, it's extremely impressive. Also think he was 35 plus in the vertical. He looked great in drills. He's just a terrific athlete. Now, one thing about Gary, though, I did not love his college career at Michigan. For someone that is so athletically gifted, I thought at times he was not really disappeared. He was the number one player coming out of high school. So if I was going to say D-line, just rough to just give you inside guys. I probably like Quentin Williams best as that true kind of nose guard guy, kind of that tackle kind of guy would be like Rashawn Gary, Rashawn Gary and Oliver. Oh, and Nick Bosa. Can't forget Nick Bosa. Well, he's a D end. Okay. For D end, Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa had talking about good shuttle. Nick Bosa, I think, was like 4.2 in the shuttle. So that's 0.3 faster than DK Metcalf at wide receiver. You can't just look at one measurement. People get stuck on 40-yard dashes. It's a straight line race. You have to look at 3-cone drill times. You have to look at the pro agility 20-yard shuttle times. You can't get stuck on one stinking thing. So that's what you have to watch out for. Because Nick Bosa in the 40 was 4.79. That's not crazy good. But when you look at his 30-plus on the bench, when you look at his 4.2 in the shuttle, when you look at some of those things, and you saw him in the drills, he's just very good. He's just very proficient, just like his brother. Well, how has his brother been in the NFL? Very good. He's an all-pro level player. So, I love Nick Bosa at the end. Rashawn Gary, just because of his athleticism alone, I like him at the end. At the rush, I love Burns as an edge guy. I do like Sweet. His film's a little inconsistent, but he definitely is a freak, physically. I love Jeffrey Simmons, but he got hurt and he couldn't compete in the combine. He's a great tackle. And then as a true nose guard, I like Quentin Williams. So that's a rundown on the D-line. Let's go linebackers. Two best linebackers. If you're going to ask me, like,
who are the top linebackers at the combine, Tyler Turner?
Well, then, okay, let's go before combine. Who would you say the best combine? Who would I say the two best were? I'd say Devin White, Devin Bush.
I was about to say that.
Who performed the best at the combine? Devin White, Devin Bush. Devin White, Devin Bush probably be the two linebackers off the board. I think they proved that. But I like some other guys. Ben Burkhaven from Washington. He led the nation, I believe, in tackles his senior year. I thought he was more of an instinct guy, a guy that relied on just being a good football player. He ran a sub 4.640. Wow. That's really good. So he's a steal possibly in the second round. Who else did I like? Devin White, Devin Bush. Well, he's a linebacker edge guy. He's my Oregon Ducks, but Justin Hollins tested really well. He ran a 4.540. He had a 35 plus vertical, about a 10-foot broad. He looked good in the drills. His shuttle time were not terrific, but they were not too bad. And he had a great senior year. I mean, I watched obviously every Oregon game. He had a very good senior year. He also was the MVP of the Shrine game. So he's a guy that's like a third, fourth round pick that could be a big time steal. And that's probably where I land with the linebackers. White, Bush, Burkhaven's kind of like a outlier guy, and then I really like Justin Hollins is kind of a linebacker edge guy.
Quarterbacks. Who do you thought were the top quarterbacks?
No, we're not done. We're not done.
Okay.
No, we're not done.
Okay.
We're not done with defense, dog.
Let's do it.
You're gonna forget the back four. You're gonna forget the secondary.
Oh, I forgot. Well,
you don't like cornerbacks.
People were saying that corners did not have a good performance this past weekend.
Well, they didn't run well. They didn't run fast. They did. Yeah, their 40 times were terrific.
Why is that?
But for instance, but I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask them. Okay. But anyways, but Byron Murphy ran a 4.5540. You look at that, not great. His shuttle times were terrific. You look at him in the drills, he was amazing. Byron Murphy from Washington. You look at his tape, he's a great player. He's just a high-skill, high-level, physical cornerback. The 40 time might make you be like, oh, let's look at his top-end speed. A 4.55 for a cornerback, it's not great top end speed. But everything else he does as well. I would take Byron Murphy in the first round. Greedy Williams, you have to take in the first round. You got a 6'1" long corner. He ran a sub 4.40. You know, he tested well in the jumping and stuff. I love Greedy Williams. He's the first quarterback I say off the thing. I then go Byron Murphy. I'm not looking at the list right now, so I don't know who the other ones are. But anyway, safeties. Totally forgot his name. Maybe I'm driving, so I can't look him up. Look up the kid from Mississippi State. I think he's widely considered the best safety. He also had very good ties. I think it's Humphrey, maybe, but he was very good. You know, he tested well. He had great year. He's a great player in general. I think you can comfortable saying he's the best safety on the board. Then you had a couple safeties like the Ole Miss kid. I can't remember his name either. Ran the fastest 40 time. The safety ran the fastest 40 time. It's a really impressive time. I don't think his film and his overall projectability is as high as his time, but he'll be a kind of a middle round guy. And I'm trying to think of it. Oh, well, Taylor Rapp. I don't know if he ran, but from Washington, he's a terrific player. I don't know what his time was. I don't know if he even ran, but he's a very good football player. I think he's a second round guy probably.
You didn't like the 40-yard dash.
We mean I didn't like the 40-yard dash.
I mean, you were not too impressed with that part of the combine.
Who said that?
I'm asking you. Were you impressed with that part of the combine?
No, you answered the question. You said I wasn't. You told me I wasn't. So why am I not impressed?
Let me reverse that.
You said I wasn't impressed.
Well, you did mention something earlier. Well, people were just looking at that, but there's more than that.
You can't. No. That's not. You can't conclude that from that.
Okay.
To say that I didn't like the 40-yard dash, that's a hasty generalization.
For certain positions, it didn't matter.
No, the 40-yard dash is not the only thing.
Yeah.
If it was the 40-yard dash was the only metric to a good football player, then just run the U.S. track team out there.
Yeah.
The U.S. track team's good. No, they're going to run the best 40.
Yeah.
They can't be the only metric. No, you have to look at film, first of all, how the player looks. You also have to look at his agility drills. You have to look at, overall explosion. You also have to look at the 40 and split. Like, how quick was he on the first 10 yards? Because you could get, like, a track-type guy that really doesn't run that fast the first 10, but is unbelievably fast after that. Or you could have another guy that runs like a 4.6, but his first 10 yards are super quick.
Right.
Like Quentin Williams had a really quick first 10 yards. There's a couple offensive linemen that ran a first really quick. So, the 40 is good. That can't be the only metric. No, it can't be. Because that's not what makes great football players. I can tell you all the players that are in the Hall of Fame today that didn't run great 40-yard dash, including Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver of all time, who was argued to have only ran a 4.6. So, you can't just go, that's not the only metric. It's fun. It's fun to watch and make people, jump out of their... Yeah.
I enjoyed it more than... I enjoyed it more than at the Olympics, so...
Yeah. I think everyone loves the 40, but it's not the only metric.
Anyways...
Spoken by a guy, 40 was probably my worst thing I would test in, too, by the way.
Really?
Whenever I got tested, 40 was I was much better at the agility, even like the vertical and stuff. I had a much higher vertical than my 40 in comparison.
What else in defense you really saw that you liked?
Yeah, I just think you're going to have a lot of guys. I just think you have a lot of great D linemen. You're going to have about, I don't know. I'm not looking at the numbers right now, but you're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9 first round. 10, I don't know. You got Rashawn Gary, you got Dexter Lawrence, you got Christian Wilkerson, you got Celine Farrell, you got Ed Oliver, you got Quentin Williams, Polite was going to be a first round. Let's see where he goes now. You got Montez Sweat, you got Jeffrey Simmons, who's out with his thing. I don't know how that's going to affect it. You just have a lot of great. It was supposed to be a great D-line class. It is. Linebackers, I think you got a couple that are going to go in the first round. I think it's the Devons. You can feel pretty good about that, I think, right now. And when it comes to the D-backs, Greedy Williams, Byron Murphy. I like those guys in the first round. There's another corner. I can't think of who it is. I'm like, if I was looking at the thing, if you brought up the times, there was another corner that's a first-round corner, but I just can't think of him right offhand. And then at safety, the kid from Mississippi State, whose name I can't remember, he's the first safety, I believe. And then I don't know if there's
NFL.com.
Taylor Rapp possibly could leak in the first round. He's a second-round for sure guy. Probably looking at this draft is heaviest defensive players in general, especially D-line, and then offensively wide receivers and tight ends. It's a very good draft for wide receivers, tight ends.
According to WalterFootball.com, they think DeAndre Baker is the top corner for this draft.
He's not. No, that's not accurate.
Okay.
DeAndre Baker's not the top corner for this draft. No. He didn't even run that well either. Oh, but he is first round. You are correct. DeAndre Baker is first round, but no, he didn't have that great a combine at all. And he actually was one of those that his timing, he didn't look great, even great in drills. It was not a great combine for DeAndre Baker. But you're right, he is a first round corner. That's the guy I was thinking of.
Let me name a few more. He had Byron Murphy from Washington.
Yep. Yeah, he's first. He's a great player.
Greedy Williams from LSU.
He's the best. Yeah. He's top five, possibly.
Julian Love from Notre Dame.
It tested really bad. Didn't look great. I don't think he's first round.
Armani Oruwari from Penn State.
Who?
Armani Oruwari. I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
I don't even know him.
Rock Ya-Sin from Temple.
No, that's not first round. I think you're done.
Okay.
I think the three first round is the guys you mentioned. Greedy Williams, I think, is top 10. Byron Murphy's probably top 15, maybe for sure, top 20. And then I personally take DeAndre Baker probably. He's going to go in the first round. He had very good tape, but I didn't like how he tested. But the thing was, Murphy didn't test great in the 40. He was great at all the other tests, and his drills, he was remarkable looking. Baker was he was a little bit inconsistent in everything and didn't look great in drills. He looked a little ill-prepared.
The safety you're talking about with Jonathan Abram?
Yeah. Oh, man, that guy's stud.
Mississippi State.
He's a terrific player. Great film, great testing. I think he was in low 4.5s. Might even hit the 4.4s. I can't remember. Tested great, looked great in drills. 4.4. Oh, 4.4. Oh, my God. Yeah, that kid's good.
He's a freak of nature.
Yeah. Mississippi, by the way, Montez Swift, Jeffrey Simmons, and Abram, man, Mississippi State had some talent on that defense.
Walter Football also had Nasir Alderley from Delaware for safety.
Going in the first round?
Projected round is second to third round. So only
he's number 2. Taylor Rapp's not number 2. I think Taylor Rapp is number 2.
Yes, I think Taylor Rapp number 4. He projects him to second to third round.
Who's number 3?
3 is Juan Thornhill from Virginia.
Oh, he flew. He ran a low 4.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty talented. But I'm gonna go with Abram there.
Yeah, Abram's good.
I remember him in college, and I saw how he tested. He's my favorite from the safety position. So I'm gonna go favorite each position. Number 1, a nose guard, easy, Quentin Williams. A tackle type guy, I'm going to go Ed Oliver. I think he's just a little better than Gary. Defensive end, you have to go Bosa. Edge, speed guy, I love Burns. I love Burns, Florida State. Linebacker, man, I love both Devin Bush and Devin White. This one's tough for me. They're both really good guys, too. I'm going to go Devin White, but they're both good. And safety, easy Abram, and corner. I think you kind of want to say Greedy Williams, but I love Byron Murphy as a football player.
You do?
I just think he's.
Why?
I just think he's a stud. So, what'd you say?
Why?
I just think he's great. I mean, I watched Washington like their Pac-12 school, and I just think he's a really, really sound football player. And even though his 40 wasn't great, I loved how he looked in the drills. That he was the most impressive, just like fluid. He just is really good.
Can we get to the quarterbacks?
We'll go from Amati from Oregon too. He's tested pretty good, and obviously he's an Oregon guy. So look for him. Yeah, good to the offense.
Quarterbacks.
Late.
According to Bleacher Report, the guy from Washington had a good performance. And I'm going to look for his name.
I really, that was one report. Jake Browning, I mean, I've followed his career.
Jake Browning, sorry.
No, he might not get drafted. He might have liked his performance. He's a late round. He's not even. Okay, quarterback. Who do I think, in my opinion, who did I like the best?
Yeah.
I really liked what Drew Lock did.
Yeah.
For one, he's a prototypical quarterback his size. 6'3", 6'4", 220 pounds. Second of all, he has a big-time arm. But he looked good in drills. He was really accurate. He was not just a big arm. He was very accurate. He was on time. He looked like he'd been real well prepared. He also ran a very good time, 4.69, sub 4.7. He just overall, I thought his athleticism, his measurements. I heard he interviewed pretty well, and how he looked throwing with the ball, and his accuracy, and his arm strength. I really like Drew Lock. I think he will be the third quarterback taken. So I think he was better than Daniel Jones. I think it was between him and Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, I just did not test great, and he also did not look very good. His passing was really off. I don't know if he just had a bad day.
By the way, Walter Football has Daniel Jones as their favorite.
After the Combine. Well, did he watch the Combine? Was that before the Combine? I think Jones led Locke, but I thought Locke had a much better Combine, personally, and what I've read, too. When I've read NFL.com, reports on, ESPN, I heard Locke had the better day. Now, Dwayne Haskins looked really good passing the ball. And, he obviously had great numbers. I think he's definitely the prototypical thing. I do worry about him. His 40 time was beyond slow. I mean, he was slow, 5.0, slower than tackles. He got beat by 2 cents by a guy that weighed 300 pounds. He's not a real athletic guy. But remember, there's been tons of Hall of Famers like Drew Brees. Not Drew Brees. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady that were not fast, were super athletic guys. But will Dwayne Haskins be like that, or will he be more Jameis Winston? I don't know. I didn't think his athleticism is definitely not elite. And then you got Kyler, who, believe it or not, you're right. I got to give it to you, man. He's going to be the first quarterback taken. I really think he is.
I was right. You didn't believe me.
Yeah, I guess.
That was a gut guess, by the way.
I don't know.
That was all gut.
But you know what? The thing is, he might end up being moved to another position somewhere down the line. He's a guy that could play a lot of places. Obviously, he didn't do any of the testing because he probably was going to break a record for the 40. I mean, he's probably a 4.3 guy. He's going to run a fast 40.
I hope the Dolphins take him.
Probably going to jump really high. I think he's going to go before that. I think he's going to go maybe number 1. So I say, Haskins, because of what he did, Ohio State, and because he's just overall just a consistent passer, solid arm, I think he will go second. But, I wouldn't be shocked if Drew Lock had a better career.
So how many legit quarterbacks are in this draft?
How many great quarterbacks?
No, legit quarterbacks.
That could start. I mean, you're going to have 4 or 5.
Okay.
But compare next year, I think you have legitimate franchise guys.
Yeah,
with Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, Jake Fromm, possibly Jacob Eason, possibly KJ Costello. You just have guys that possibly could really be just franchise type guys. This year, I don't know if there's any true bet on any of them. Honestly, I don't know why Dwayne Haskins left. If he went into next year's draft, I think he would be number 5. Mm-hmm. And he could find himself fall into the second, third round. He made the smart move by leaving because he'll be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But I think going against next year, he was going to look so inferior to the Herbert and Tagovailoa and Fromm when it came to testing numbers and just overall athleticism that I don't think there was any way he was going to get drafted in front of them.
Now,
So I
Tyler,
think he definitely made a good decision by leaving.
how important is the combine? Is there a lot of weight to this, or they look at what you did during the season?
Oh, okay. This is what I'll say. Yes, obviously the tape is the most important. If you have a first round tape, and as long as your numbers aren't just wow, like bad, like polite, and even CeCe Jefferson to a certain extent, the Florida guys, actually a couple of Florida guys, they have great tape. Those guys are great college players. They had bad numbers at the combine, like not good numbers. That would cause someone to go back and like, why is his numbers so bad? And they'd look at the tape more closely and then maybe see that it was maybe a little bit of a scheme advantage that had them get in better position to make plays, and that could cause them to fall. So having a bad combine is the only thing that affects the top guys. Now, some of the lower ranked guys that maybe didn't have such great numbers in college or maybe played for a smaller school, them having an amazing combine like opened up the door to like, wow, he is a freak, and so then they'll go back, and that could really help a guy that was maybe like Justin Hollins that was going to go in the late rounds, but showed great numbers and then finds himself going up to the third or fourth round. I gotta go, but I'm going to do quickly because one of my favorite positions I played tight end when I was younger is tight end, so I'm just going to touch on that and then I'm going to be done.
Do it.
The tight end group is really good this year. You have like 3-4 guys that could go in the first round. And we kind of were bantering about this. I don't think, I know, just tell Justin to listen to this portion. I don't think he did his research because TJ Hawkinson is a terrific tight end. He didn't run like amazing. He was a 4.7, but just you look at his tape, he can block. He's a good receiver. He's versatile in so many ways. He also had a ridiculous shuttle time, and that is very key to tight end. It's getting in and out of your breaks, getting quick release off the line. He ran a 4.1. I think he's the first one drafted. I think he could go in the top 10. I think he's such a good tight end. Noah Fant, freaky 4.51. I think he had like a 40-inch vertical. But Noah, I watched Noah. They're teammates. Noah Fant and T.J. Hawkinson both played for Iowa. The all-around guys, T.J. Noah Fant is definitely his thing is he's just a terrific athlete and he can get vertical. So I think he's going to be more of the receiving type. I think he goes in the first round. And I think Irv Smith, a good football background. His dad was a player in the NFL. And the fact that he was just really solid. He ran good times and, ran good routes. He's good tape. I think he's a guy that could sneak into the end of the first round. I don't see any others. There's some other good tight ends, though. There's 3 or 4 other really good tight ends.
Like Caleb Wilson.
The old Yeah. Oh, Caleb Wilson's good receiving. He's a good receiving. He can't block with crap. I know him from UCLA.
Josh Oliver.
Several times. Josh Oliver's very good. I like the guy from Ole Miss. Who's the guy from Ole Miss? There's a guy from Ole Miss that's really good. He didn't get a lot of production, but he showed really good at the combine. He even showed really good in the drills and stuff. Caden Smith from Stanford had a very good college career. He was very productive. He didn't test that well, but I think you got 7-8 tight ends going.
There's a handful.
3 rounds. No, it's a very good tight end draft. One of the best in a while. So,
wow.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a like defensive linemen, tight ends, wide receivers. This is a strong draft for those. I'm done. I don't have anything more to say.
There you go. NFL draft is in April. Pretty exciting times. A couple of teams that need quarterbacks. A couple of teams that need linebackers. It'll be on April 25th, Thursday night on the NFL Network. Might be on ESPN. Excuse me. And let's go for game predictions. College basketball. Virginia Tech versus FSU.
Let's go FSU.
Wake Forest versus Duke.
Duke. Duke's starting to get it going even without Zion. He's going to be coming back soon, I think, though.
I think so, too. And random question of the week. Who is your favorite Jones? Indiana Jones, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Tommy Lee Jones, or also John Jones Jr.? Or James Earl Jones, too.
Oh. Well, I know. Actually, I worked a couple of events with John Jones. He had some personal problems, but I actually found him to be a very nice guy. I'll go John because I know him.
John Jones Jr., boxer.
Yep.
And you're also a boxer, aren't you?
MMA.
MMA. My bad.
John Jones is MMA. I'm boxer. Don't confuse the two, Santiago.
I know they're getting close. Tyler, how can people reach you to talk to you about the combine?
Yeah, do the Tyler Turner at the Sportscast. And I actually am. I think I have it still going. I don't know. I couldn't find it when I went in there earlier. But I'm going to do a winners and losers article from the combine and pick my winners and losers. I think I was like halfway done with it.
Yes, his Twitter.
I'll probably get it on tonight.
Yeah, tonight. His Twitter is the TurnerCast at TurnerCast, and you go to thesportscast.net. Tyler is pumping out some content on college football and NFL Combine because we're getting ready for the draft, and he'll have the predictions for the draft. Who will go first and who will go last?
Yep.
Don't forget the kickers. Don't forget the kickers.
Yep. Don't forget them. I don't know. I'm not going to do all 7 rounds.
No. Of course not.
Forget that. I'll do a first round. Yeah, we do. We got to do first round.
We'll do first round. We'll have the list, and we'll probably have a little group cast. Yep. Everyone will have their list, and we'll just have it discussed. So
that's right.
Tyler Turner, I appreciate you coming on to the Sportscast.
No problem, dude. Thanks for having me.